Welcome to this video about the Gulf War, one of the defining conflicts of the late 20th century. Lasting from 1990 to 1991, this war saw the forces of Iraq led by Saddam Hussein invade neighboring Kuwait, leading to a coalition of countries led by the United States to launch a military operation to expel the Iraqi forces. This video will take you through the key events of the Gulf War, from the initial invasion to the liberation of Kuwait and the ceasefire that followed. So buckle up and get ready to learn about one of the most significant conflicts of modern times. Iraq invades Kuwait on August 2, 1990. On August 2, 1990, Iraq, led by President Saddam Hussein, invaded Kuwait, which was a small but wealthy country situated to Iraq's south. Iraq had long claimed Kuwait as a part of its territory, and it cited various reasons for the invasion, including Kuwait's alleged overproduction of oil, which was seen as a violation of OPEC production quotas, and Kuwait's refusal to forgive Iraq's debts from the Iran-Iraq War. The invasion was met with widespread international condemnation, and the United Nations Security Council quickly passed a resolution demanding Iraq's withdrawal from Kuwait. Resolution 661, passed by the United Nations Security Council in August 1990, was a landmark resolution that condemned the Iraqi invasion of Kuwait and imposed a wide range of economic sanctions on Iraq. The sanctions imposed by Resolution 661 were far-reaching and had a profound impact on Iraq's economy. These sanctions were intended to pressure Iraq into withdrawing from Kuwait and restoring the status quo ante. United States leads a coalition of 39 countries in Operation Desert Shield to build up military presence in Saudi Arabia and neighboring countries. Operation Desert Shield was a massive military mobilization led by the United States in response to Iraq's invasion of Kuwait. It involved the deployment of a coalition force consisting of 39 countries to the region to build up military presence in Saudi Arabia and neighboring countries. The operation was one of the largest and most complex military deployments in history, involving the transportation of troops, equipment, and supplies across vast distances and difficult terrain. The United States played a leading role in the operation, providing the bulk of the military forces and logistical support. The sheer scale of the mobilization was staggering, involving the deployment of hundreds of thousands of troops, thousands of aircraft, and hundreds of ships. The goal of Operation Desert Shield was to deter Iraq from further aggression. The operation was a massive undertaking that required a significant commitment of resources, manpower, and political will from the participating countries. It demonstrated the resolve of the international community to uphold the principles of the United Nations and to prevent further acts of aggression in the region. Iraq responds with missile attacks on coalition forces in Israel. Iraq's missile attacks on coalition forces in Israel during the Gulf War were a significant escalation of the conflict. The attacks were indiscriminate and caused significant damage, with some missiles carrying chemical warheads that caused severe health problems for those exposed. The frequency and intensity of the missile attacks created a sense of fear and uncertainty among the coalition forces and civilians in the region. The attacks also highlighted Iraq's willingness to use weapons of mass destruction, which further raised concerns about the regime's intentions and capabilities. The international community strongly condemned these attacks as blatant violations of international law. Coalition forces launched a ground assault on Iraqi-occupied Kuwait on February 24, 1991. The ground assault on Iraqi-occupied Kuwait launched by the coalition forces on February 24, 1991, was a massive and decisive military operation that involved the most advanced weaponry and tactics of its time. The coalition forces had meticulously planned and continued the operation for months. The assault involved a massive deployment of ground troops, armored vehicles, and air support, which overwhelmed the Iraqi defenses. The coalition forces made quick and significant progress, rapidly pushing back the Iraqi troops and liberating Kuwait. The operation was a resounding success, with minimal casualties on the coalition side and a devastating blow to the Iraqi military. The coalition forces' victory showcased their superior military capabilities and technology, solidifying their position as a dominant military power on the world stage. The ground assault on Iraqi-occupied Kuwait was a defining moment in the history of modern warfare, demonstrating the importance of strategic planning, advanced technology, and coordination in achieving military objectives. The coalition forces' success in this operation laid the groundwork for future military operations, setting the standard for excellence in modern warfare. The United Nations Security Council passed Resolution 687, which set the terms of a ceasefire between Iraq and the coalition forces. The resolution called for Iraq to recognize Kuwait's sovereignty and territorial integrity, and to disclose and destroy all of its weapons of mass destruction and related facilities. On April 11, 1991, a formal ceasefire was declared, effectively ending the Gulf War. The coalition forces had achieved their objectives and Saddam Hussein's regime was left severely weakened. Iraq accepts the terms of United Nations Security Council Resolution 687. In exchange for the lifting of the sanctions on Iraq. Thanks for watching.